Booze and Barbecue. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Andy.
And hey, everybody listening. This is Boost, Booze and Barbecue, and we want to take just a second to thank you so much for listening. Thank you for telling a friend, and thank you for liking, commenting, sharing. You guys are the fuel that keeps us going, and we sure appreciate that, don't we?
We do. I cannot say thank you enough. Mm-hmm. I really, it warms my heart.
Warms your heart. Yes. And I can't say enough good things about our listeners too. They're all just, they're so intelligent.
Yep.
And they're so beautiful and like not just mentally beautiful, but physically attractive. It's astonishing. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't be the only one that's noticed. I'm just saying.
I think that's not what I've been noticing. And I'm not saying that they're not physically attractive. I'm just saying that's not what I've been noticing.
Anybody out there who thinks that Joe is talking about them specifically, feel free to write her at jojo at boostboozebarbecue.com. Joe, how's the week been?
It's been great. It's been great. We've gotten this thing off the ground and, like you mentioned, we've just experienced an outpouring of support and it's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Facebook is off and running. Finally, the website is up and going. I know we had a little bit of trouble with the website.
Yeah.
We still have a little bit of trouble with the, Patreon, but don't you guys worry about that. That's coming down the pipe and we have got some amazing stuff for our patrons. We have got growlers from local breweries.
Yep.
We have got, some old car magazines that I just love thumbing through.
Oh, so much fun.
And I have no doubt that you guys are going to have a lot of fun looking at them too. Some of our lucky listeners are going to be sent some of those. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes on our pages. We're going to be giving you more information about that real soon. And speaking of, today's episode is being brought to you by what, JoJo?
By Buffalo Trace. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little bit of ice. Just to dilute it a little bit.
Tiny little, he has the cutest little ice cube tray. It's like what do you call that? That soft, squishy stuff?
Yeah,
Silicone?
Yeah, there you go.
Sure,
silicone.
I'm gonna go with silicone. Ice cube tray, and it makes these teeny tiny ice cubes, and they're perfect for. We've got these little tiny. They're actually beer sampling glasses.
But they're kind of perfect for the whiskey, aren't they?
Yeah, they're shaped like a miniature pilsner, which I think is it is having an interesting effect on the whiskey. But then I put two of these tiny little ice cubes in about half an ounce or so of this Buffalo Trace, and it just made the hugest difference. I took a couple of sips of it straight without the ice cubes, and then after I put the ice cubes in and swirled it around a little bit and then took a drink, it was like bam flavor. Yeah.
And a friend of ours that's a sommelier, kind of a wine expert. He works for a winery. He's their cellar master, but he's a little bit of just a booze nerd.
Oh yeah. He's so fun to talk to.
I told him the other day he has a touch of the Augsburgers.
Yeah.
But he told us for a middle of the road whiskey like the Buffalo Trace, it's really hard to go wrong because the consistency is there.
Yeah.
The flavor is going to be there every single time, He said some really interesting stuff to us, at the house party that they hosted. And, I just could not get enough of some of that stuff. He was talking about how when you have a young whiskey, something that's been aged 5 years or less, it will have a little bit of a greenish color to it.
Right.
And you have to be abstract when you're looking at it. You can't look at it and just go, oh, it's green.
Right.
But if you look at it and you get a little light through it and you think, that's got just a little touch of like a green hue coming through the glass. That's very indicative, apparently, of a young whiskey. And if you have a middle of the road whiskey where you're able to hold it up to the light and look at it and not see that typically means caramel color.
Yeah.
That was a little bit disappointing for me here. Because now I check the whiskeys every time I get them. And some of my favorites, I'm looking at them going, oh, man.
Oh, dang it. Man, cheaters.
Well, but you know what? It tastes good, and you just got to roll with it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
What did we try at his house? I'd never had it before. It was the Bushmills Black Bush. Yeah.
Which I have had many times. I've bought bottles of it for myself over the years. It's one of my
first for me.
favorite Irish whiskeys is the Bushmills Black Bush.
I don't know why you didn't introduce it to me before.
I don't know either. That's weird. Yeah.
You know what it is? It's because it's a staple in your house. Every time I come over.
You know, I haven't bought a bottle of that in a long time though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of got away from, bourbons and whiskeys for a little while, and I kind of started playing around with vodka-based cocktails, and they were fun and fruity. And, you know, if you had a rough week, it was fun to come home and mix up a little something that turned pink in your glass, and you put a little umbrella in it or whatever, and, you know, pretend you're on an island somewhere. And then I started getting really a lot heavier into the, microbrews and local breweries and their beers and that kind of thing. But I am just now coming back within the last year. I am coming back to the bourbons and the whiskeys.
It always comes back around.
It does.
Something that's got a little color in it.
Yep.
And it gets that color from what? The smoke and char inside of the barrel.
That's right. It's all connected.
You know, I got to be honest. I really don't mind the cocktails. There are some cocktails that I really like. A well-done Manhattan.
Oh,
or
yeah.
A really good old-fashioned.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man. If I'm having too many of those, the hangover is atrocious. And our younger listeners are not going to understand that probably, but man, you start
just
hitting.
Just wait.
Yeah,
it
you hit your 30s.
It sneaks up on you. Yeah. For me, it was 28.
Really?
Yep. After I turned 28, almost immediately, like within a couple of weeks, I experienced my first like hardcore hangover. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like I didn't want to accept the fact that I had a hangover because I'd never had a hangover before then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an eye-opening moment.
But now you're going to have to tell everybody about your hangover cure.
Oh yeah. So this is something that I saw on Twitter years ago. And, I was probably about 30 or so, at this point. So I had experienced more than one hangover at this point. And it was just this stupid little like fun fact kind of a tweet. And it was like, bananas are the perfect cure for a hangover. And I was like, yeah, right, whatever. So a few months go by and, we were celebrating something and I had a little too much champagne and woke up the next morning and we were, headed out of town for a vacation. And we're all going with my husband's family. And so we all met at their house before we all caravanned down the freeway. And, I'm not feeling well. And it turns out that my sister-in-law, had also gone out separate from us the night before. And she wasn't feeling that great either. And we're standing in their kitchen and I noticed a bushel of bananas. And I was like, oh, you know, I read a thing on Twitter and I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but what do you say we have a banana? And within 30 seconds, like we were both like maybe 2 bites into our banana, we were like, I feel better. Like I feel, yes, no joke. I feel better. And then after we finished with our bananas, we got about a half an hour down the road and we were like, I'm hungry. Like, let's stop at McDonald's, get some McDonald's breakfast because it was morning. And, yeah, it worked. I don't know. It worked.
I'm not saying I'm not going to try it, but I'll have to be better about having some bananas in the house the next time I drink.
Well, and they say, so after my experience, I was like, what's going on? Why is this banana hangover cure working. And I Googled it, and yeah, it's a thing. And whatever I read said that you can have your banana before you start drinking, and it helps. You can have a banana after you've been drinking, and it helps. And then if you wake up with a hangover the next morning, have a banana, and it helps.
I just figured out exactly what you need to do.
What?
Spend the whole night drinking banana daiquiris. Boom, no hangover.
Oh my. I've actually tried that. They weren't banana daiquiris, but I thought, hey, I wonder if I buy this. It was like a Minute Maid juice thing carton, and next to the orange juice, they have all the different other kinds, tropical and whatever.
Yeah, the orange banana pineapple.
Banana pineapple. And I was like, oh, this one's got bananas in it. I wonder if I make my drinks with this. It didn't work.
No,
that didn't work.
It wouldn't. Well, so that bad hangover experience you had, that was on, you said champagne?
Yes.
So are you able to drink champagne now?
Yes, I can still drink champagne.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
that wasn't like the worst one. I just didn't feel well the next morning. Like a little bit, headachy, a little sluggish, you just kind of feel like bleh.
That's a baby hangover.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I'll tell you what, man, I had a hangover on tequila that it was probably not a hangover. It's probably alcohol poisoning.
I've been there with tequila. That was the really bad one. Right after I turned 28. Can you drink
tequila?
I can drink a margarita.
Ooh, see, I can't.
Yeah.
Anything that's got, now I take that back. I bought my wife a bottle of $130 tequila one time for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Because she was on like this tequila kick. And I thought, oh, hey, that'd be a fun gift to give, So I tried it, and astonishingly, I was able to drink it. But that's
because it was $130 tequila. It wasn't Jose Cuervo.
It didn't taste anything like any tequila.
Well, and the thing that I've read about tequila hangovers is the reason why people get such a bad hangover from tequila is because they're buying the cheaper, the Jose Cuervos, and they have caramel coloring in them, and they have other natural ingredients and stuff, and it's not a high quality alcohol, period. So you're going to get sick if you drink too much of it, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I wish you could say that about any low quality booze, but it seems like tequila is just worse all the way around.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about tequila that just makes it, when you've got really cheap tequila and you drink too much of it, it just wrecks you.
It does.
Just wrecks you.
Yeah.
I still am a firm believer though in just like eggs, bacon, and pancakes as the hangover cure.
Oh,
I will try the banana the next time I have too much to drink. If I have bananas in the house.
Well, because in my experience, for me personally, I think the banana works really well because I can't hardly handle anything but water. If I've really overdone it. So to think about eggs and bacon and all that, I would just like, I can't.
You could see it coming right back up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And a banana, I'm okay with a banana.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could do like flambéed bananas. What's that called? Bananas Foster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
Ooh, you know what I want to do sometime is bananas Foster over an open fire.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yum.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
I've been thinking about my next smoker build too. I think I am going to try using one of those old steel drums to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found this Facebook group. It's called Ugly Drum Smoker Texas. And it's pretty interesting.
Seems honest.
Well, I recommend anybody that wants to go and check it out. It's run by this fella named Stephen Powell. And he's been really cool with me with all my different questions, and he builds the ugly drum smokers, but they are anything but ugly when they're done.
Yeah.
Here, let's I think I've got it up still on the monitor.
Okay, yeah, I want to see this. Ugly smoker.
Joel will get
ugly
a little
drum
shot of it here.
Oh, those are not ugly at all. Oh my gosh, those are really cool.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Yeah. Oh, I like the red one.
iPod connectivity.
Oh, no way. That is really cool. That looks like, they look like, what was the old, show with the robot and he was like, danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Oh no, you're testing my pop culture references.
Yeah, well, it was before both of our time, but I mean, yeah, that's really neat. Mm-hmm. That's a Bluetooth speaker. Mm-hmm. Stuck to the side of your smoker. That's cool.
It's pretty incredible. He's got a video on here of one that is totally tricked out. Mm-hmm. And it's on wheels and it's got 2 air inlets and it's got, thermometers that show like the middle and the top of your smoking grate.
It's got an iPad holder and a Bluetooth speaker set up. So you got your tunes going. Mm-hmm. Nice. It's got lights.
Yeah,
those
tons of lights.
Cool.
Hey, if you're grilling at night, man, you need the light, right?
Yeah.
I love this. I love that. You see that water spigot on the back of it?
Oh my gosh. This is incredible.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah. Wow. This guy knows what he's doing.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And I love that candy apple red color.
Oh, it's so pretty.
All right, now comes the bad news. I'm not making anything that's going to even remotely resemble that.
Oh.
This guy is... Dang it. Oh, this dude is light years beyond where I am.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly just thinking about doing another offset style smoker, but using the drum and just kind of making it my own.
Okay.
You know, thicker material.
Yeah.
I might line the bottom with some lava rock or some bricks, something to just help even out the temperature a little bit, you know. And I may just run it that way. We'll see. Okay. I've even got a little bit of an idea for doing like a drum reverse flow smoker. I don't know if you know what a reverse flow smoker is, but it's got the firebox on the one side, but then there's a plate, there's a barrier inside the grill.
Yeah, you've told me about this before.
Yeah. I want to do that so bad.
That seems like a really cool idea.
Well, it offers a really consistent temperature all the way across the food. Not a high temperature typically, unless you've got a big one with a massive firebox. But yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about for a long time and something that I want to do at some point, and I just got to get on it, man. Yeah. I really just got to get on it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Right on. So these guys, you got to check them out on Facebook.
Yeah. Does he have, is it just his page, just Stephen Powell, or does he have
it's a forum. It's a public forum? Page where you can share all your ugly drums or look at other people's ugly drums. And, it's pretty amazing.
At least it's not other people's ugly mugs.
There you go. Ugly mug smokers.
Yeah.
That may be the name of my new company. We'll see.
Maybe.
And you guys have been using your new grill, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just used it the other night, cooked up a couple of burgers, and it was funny because we have been doing the HelloFresh meal delivery, and we've been enjoying it. There's been a couple of meals, but we've been like, it was okay. It wasn't that great. But then there have been other ones that were exceptionally good. So it's a little hit or miss. You do get to, pick your menu, every week and that kind of thing. But still, you just never really know. But, so the other night, the meal that we made was a burgers meal. And, my husband makes the patties and, I get a frying pan out cause everything they do is pan fried. And, one of the things I told my husband to sell him on trying the HelloFresh was you can still grill the meat just because the recipe says pan fry it. Ignore that part and put it on the grill instead. The point is the meat gets cooked. So, I got a pan out to pan fry the burgers, and he is standing at the counter behind me, and he turns around and he goes, "Oh no, that pan's too small." Like the patties he made were way bigger because he didn't want them to shrink down a ton. Mm-hmm. And I immediately said, "Go fire up your little grill. Mm-hmm. We don't need to pan fry these. Why would we even think about doing that? Go fire up their burgers. Go fire up the grill.
Exactly.
Cook them on the grill.
And throw some wood chips in that little smoker box."
Yeah. So that's what he did. He went down to the back patio and cooked them on the grill. He texted me from the backyard and was like, "Okay, put the buns in the oven." I was like, "Okay."
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super
great.
awesome. I don't have anything on the smoker today, unfortunately. We've just been so busy doing other stuff. I'm helping my wife put garden boxes together and things, but she made some pretty epic deviled eggs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I walked in the door today and there was like a whole plate of deviled eggs, and she was just chopping up the bacon to sprinkle on the top. And I was like, well, what's going on in here?
That is the only way to fly.
Yeah.
It's easy to eat too many of those. You know, you put 5 or 6 of them down. That's 3 eggs.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's just me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of eggs, and more importantly, rotten eggs. The Detroit International Auto Show. So you remember last year, Porsche declined to show.
Yeah.
Mazda declined to show. Volvo declined to show. This year, there is news that BMW and Mercedes are declining to show in the 2019 Detroit International Auto Show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a great sign.
No.
In my opinion.
Oh my gosh.
And what they cite it as is just they have to be more selective with the venues that they go to, and they need to keep them more relevant.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. I remember this year, the 2018 show.
Yeah.
You know, there were a number of people that talked about how BMW's booth had like a mini Countryman for a day or part of a day, and then it was gone, and that was the only mini presence.
Interesting.
From BMW.
That's interesting.
And then this coming year, they've announced that they're just pulling out completely.
Wow.
And I just thought, that is really interesting. Like, are we going to start seeing a decline in the participation of those types of shows? Because I find it interesting that SEMA has done nothing but grow.
Right.
It's bigger than ever.
Right.
It's a week long. And even if you're there the entire week, you'll never see and do everything that they have to offer. There's, drift exhibitions, and there's off-road, courses that are set up, and you get to drive Jeeps across it. And, it's this huge spectacle.
Yeah.
And it's all aftermarket automotive, but the stuff for the factories to be able to show off what they have is in a steady decline.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting, because I think that's a pretty decent indication of where our commerce as a whole is headed,
I can see that. Yeah.
Because you can find out almost everything you need to know about a car online.
Yeah, absolutely.
You use apps like the Auto Trader app or TrueCar, and oftentimes you don't even have to go in and like sit face to face with somebody.
Right.
It pays to. I got $4,000 knocked off of my wife's car because I spent 8 hours in the dealership.
Gosh, wow, you're hardcore.
I refused to leave, and at some point they were finally like, well, what is it going to take to get you out this door?
Wow. Oh my gosh, dude. You're that guy.
Yeah, I am that guy. I got $3,000 knocked off of my pickup when I bought it.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. It takes some time and it takes some persistence, but if it's worth it to you, and in that instance, it was worth it to me.
Yeah.
But my dad, right after I got my truck, he decided that he wanted one too, because he saw the price that I got it for.
Oh, okay.
And, I, of course, told him, if you want, I can help you haggle. And he said, no, I taught you to haggle. I know how to haggle.
Okay.
And he proceeded to burn every bridge within 150 miles.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because they don't, back in the day, you just roll in and you'd say, what's up, losers? I'm the alpha dog. I want the car for this price, and that's what I'm going to get it for. And this is whole, game.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, you can't really play that anymore. You got to go with a more sympathetic edge.
Yes.
Which he is not good at. I'm typically not very good at it, but, when money is on the line, let me put it this way. Every man has his price. Mm-hmm. Mine is just lower than most. So if I need to spend 8 hours in the dealership to get you to knock a couple thousand down, and I have to sit in that chair and tell you, oh man, I just cannot afford this payment, and I've got this much to put down, and to get you to come down a little bit, I'll do it.
Wow.
I have no problem doing that. When
an art.
When I was haggling for my pickup, I told him I was going to put $2,000 down. Mm-hmm. I had $4,000 cash in my pocket. Oh. And so they kept telling me, we can work with you here if you just put a little more cash down. And so at some point I was at $2,500, and then I was at $3,000. Oh. And then when I got in with the finance guy, I just pulled out all $4,000 and said, this is what I'm putting down. Oh. And, we had already negotiated all the numbers. Yeah. And yeah. They don't like it when you do that.
No.
But at that point, once you're there with the financier, they're not going to let you walk out the door.
No, so absolutely not.
Yeah, he's not going to call bully on you. He's just going to try to recover as much as he can. But anyway, I went off on a side tangent.
Big tangent.
Yeah, I apologize. But I think the relevance is still there. It's just it's a complete shift in how business used to be. Yep. The international auto shows started in I've seen footage going back into the 30s. Right. I don't know exactly when the Detroit International Auto Show started. I'm not sure. But, I think suffice it to say it's been going on for 80-ish years, plus or minus. And, to see the kind of decline that we're seeing, that's a really big deal. And that's a real sign of the times.
Yeah. And I've heard recently things about how new car sales are diminishing, whereas used car sales are going just up and up and up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and you can see it. Sorry, talking about my truck again, but because I got such a good deal on it, I instantly had $4,000 or $5,000 in equity. Yeah. And every once in a while, I'll look and see what trucks are going for in my price range, or excuse me, my mileage range. Uh-huh. And what I owe on it and what I could get for it is consistently several thousand difference. Awesome. Yeah.
Good for you.
I never thought about having equity in a vehicle.
Right. Yeah.
But it's there. Well, it's weird.
Yeah. And I think the, the, online, and the apps and stuff that you mentioned, like the True Car, and the Auto Trader, I think it just kind of opened that door for people. And I think people have just started to realize, the cat, they kind of let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. And people were like, oh my gosh, I don't have to spend that much money. Or time. I don't even have to buy a new car. I probably shouldn't buy a new car. I should probably buy a used car.
Yeah. I'm on the fence about that. I've never, this is my first brand new car, and my wife's car is her first brand new car. Yeah. And, I have to admit, I really do like that knowledge that, we bought it with no miles on it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, probably not too much damage has been done by the ham-fisted salesman, rodding the thing around. Yeah. Although, something that just gets under my skin like you would not believe.
What?
So both of our vehicles, the first oil change was included, air quotes, at the dealership. And, I do something very specific where I don't reset my mileage or anything when I take it to the dealership. I have 500 miles on it, and it gives you the instant read of the fuel economy, and that's my tell as far as how the dealership guys drive your car when you're not there. Oh. And my wife's car was averaging 38 miles to the gallon. It was 38.2 or whatever. Yeah. I get the car back from the oil change, and it's down to 31 miles to the gallon.
What?
Yeah. So that they drove it around with the gas pedal completely to the floor the entire time.
What the heck? Where did they drive it?
They only put 6 miles on the thing.
Wait, you took your car in for an oil change and it came back to you with 6 more miles?
Well, I also had them, I told them there was an engine noise I wanted them to check out.
Oh, okay. So they had to test drive it. Yeah.
They did. They came back and told me that I was completely insane and there was no noise.
Of course they're going to say that. They all say that. There's never a noise.
Stealership.
Yeah. It's always in your head.
That's right.
Right.
It's like when I got a tune on my truck and then I took it in for an oil change. And the guy just told me flat out, he's like, that's a real quick truck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
At least he was honest.
I just thought, well, all right.
Yeah.
Probably start doing my oil changes myself now.
Yikes.
Well, and this was at the Ford dealership. It's like a Ford Mazda dealership.
Okay. Yeah.
And, actually speaking of Mazda, I don't know if you've seen the new, Mazda 3s. So they've got they've got the SkyActiv motors in them now.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know you know about.
I know about that.
But next year, they're coming out with that SkyActiv X.
Yeah.
And I am super excited about that.
Super excited.
It's got that supercharger that's variable vane. And it's HCCI. I'm trying to remember what that stands for. It's a combustion.
Yeah.
That changes.
Spark. Dang it. SPCCI.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. It's like a combination of an internal combustion engine and a diesel compression engine. And they do both at the same time. It's really cool.
And to be able to do a compression fire of gasoline, that is super impressive.
Yeah.
Super impressive.
Yeah.
And it's all kinds of different stuff that's really amazing to me. They're using the spark. It's sparking at a specific interval as the piston is going up.
Right.
And the ignition of the fuel air mixture is timed just correctly so that right when it starts to come back down, because ignition's not actually at top dead center. You actually need the piston moving back down before you detonate that air. But the closer you can get the detonation of the fuel mixture to the very top of where that piston is, then the more power you'll make, obviously.
Yeah, the more efficient it is, the less fuel that is left unburned.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, So by being able to take the compression, like in a compression engine where the fuel ignites because it's been compressed so tightly, and then combine that with the spark plug where you're compressing it to just before it would ignite, and then like the split second before that the spark goes off, and it's just
and this is
super
something
efficient.
Well, this is something that would have been science fiction until they finally started developing the direct injection gasoline engine.
Yeah.
And with the advent of that, now you've got the super high pressure fuel pumps and the injectors that are actually in the head instead of the intake manifold.
Yeah.
And that's what allows like this whole new wave of these super efficient engines.
Yeah. And that combined with the some recent technological advances, because an article that I read about it said that they put an ECU from the SkyActiv G motor into the test SkyActiv X, and it could not keep up.
Right.
So they had to develop an entirely new ECU, and it said that without some of the recent technological advances in that arena, they wouldn't have been able to do it. So this is just, like the perfect storm has come together for this. It's pretty cool.
And I'm sure we're going to see some issues because it is such a new technology.
It's so new. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. You have problems when something is brand new because you're working out the kinks.
Yep.
But
that's why I bought a 2004 SRT4 and not the 2003.
That's right. You never get
And I should have waited till the 2005, but yeah.
You'll know for next time.
I got antsy.
You've been waiting on your iPhones at least. You never buy it when it first comes out.
Nope.
Yeah.
I did not.
I'm 100% with you. That's why I didn't get the Note 7 and I didn't have to worry about it blowing up in my pocket.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, so going back to the SkyActiv X, the thing I love about that is you're supposed to be able to get 40 plus miles to the gallon all the time.
All the time.
And while that's not exactly giving the Prius a run for its money, we're getting pretty close.
Yeah. And you know what is giving the Prius the run for the money? It's not the fuel economy. It's the carbon footprint. Because they're saying that, the article I read said that the carbon footprint produced by the energy production it takes to recharge your Prius is like 128 grams per whatever the measurement is. And they're saying that this could probably beat that.
That's incredible.
That's when the light bulb went on for me. Yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, you've been itching to really just do a deep dive into
I did a deep dive down that rabbit hole.
Did you?
It was deep and it was dark.
It's a little late in the show for that. Do you want to hold that for the next one?
Yeah, let's hold it because I got it. Yeah. I will take you on that journey with me.
Ooh, she's getting a little red in the face. She's ready to go. She's just like,
I am.
We got a problem. We're going to fix it.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll do that one next show.
Okay. Sounds good.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. You guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
Jojo?
Yep.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And, so glad to be able to do this and so grateful for our listeners. Don't forget, guys, head over to our Facebook page, head over to, Podbean. We're available on iTunes, soon to be available on, Google Play.
Yeah.
And, subscribe, comment, give us your feedback.
Yeah. Give us some ratings. We'd love to see some ratings out there. Great.
Let us know what you want to hear. Write to us. Put it in the comments. Let us know if you have something that you want us to talk about, some you don't want us to talk about, because then we'll talk about it anyway.
Right. And we will call you out and say, this episode is for you.
That's absolutely right. And hey, you know what? If we're liking your comments enough, we may send you out a little swag.
Yeah.
So, drop a like, drop a comment. We can't wait to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for listening. This is Andy.
And this is Jojo.
Have a great one. Boost, Booze and Barbecue.